Hey everyone, Brett here with another Brett's Flix Fast Forward. So, we sadly haven't gotten any new Marvel movies so far this year, but they made up for it in a real big way with their two new TV shows, WandaVision and Falcon and the Winter Soldier. So, WandaVision. I loved WandaVision. I thought this was an incredibly well-written show. This was something that Marvel really hasn't done before. Marvel, as much as I love them, they don't really get too layered in their films. Sure, there are a few. There are a few. Guardians of the Galaxy, for example, is one. Okay, Captain America and the Winter Soldier, it's another one. Captain America Civil War, also another one. We get more layered films in those examples. But Marvel, for the most part, has stuck to a little more lighter fare, popcorn action comedies with a little bit of heart, and that's totally fine. That's totally fine. They do it incredibly well. I absolutely love them, and I am very entertained every single time I go to see a Marvel film.
Am I right?
But let's be honest, sometimes we want just a little more. You want to get a little bit more layered with your characters, and a television show allows you the time to do that. Because we're no longer bound by the fact that a character needs to make a decision by page 105, because we need to put butts in the theater, and we also need to get those butts out of the theater so we can make more money and play the movie as many times as possible in a day.
Am I right?
These TV shows are less hindered by structure because they're able to tell their story the long way around. And WandaVision was a brilliant example of how this can be done. Now, I've seen some people complain about this show. Complaining about how, they could have condensed the first few episodes into one, and that would have been fine. I disagree. I think maybe plotline-wise you could have, but if you did that and you condensed everything, two things would happen. One, I personally think a lot of those different character decisions would feel very rushed. And two, it would no longer be WandaVision. It would be a show about Wanda and Vision, but it would no longer be WandaVision. Because the whole shtick with WandaVision is Wanda's journey through the stages of grief and tying those in to a specific memory from a sitcom from her childhood. And an emotional response that she has based on that sitcom. And by condensing these certain plot beats into shorter seasons, or, just taking 3 episodes and condensing it into one, you lose all of that. And you lose that theme that they're going for. So while it may have been a good show about Wanda and Vision, it would not have been WandaVision. And I think that WandaVision was brilliant. I had a ton of different questions all throughout, so many mysteries, so many twists and turns. It was incredible. The performances also amazing. This was the best Paul Bettany has given us as Vision. This was also the best performance Elizabeth Olsen has given us as Wanda. These are deep and layered characters now. They aren't just a supporting character in a 2-hour movie about Iron Man. You know what I mean?
Am I right?
Like, they actually have time to breathe and make decisions, and for us as the audience to watch those decisions be made and to watch why they make them and their reactions to them in a natural way. And that is what builds character. That's what we want to see. We want our characters to grow and evolve. And that is what the show brilliantly did. Another complaint I've seen is the big one. Okay, Quicksilver is just a guy named Boner. And it's just a boner joke. Oh, Marvel, you betrayed us. You set this up. We knew you were going to introduce the X-Men, and then you didn't. Well, yeah. We know they're going to do it. So why not let them have fun until they do? Because 100% honest, this show did not need real Quicksilver. It didn't. In fact, if Quicksilver had actually been revealed at the end of the show or in this season finale, it would have completely undermined the entire journey that Wanda needs to go on, which is learning how to healthily and properly mourn and grieve a loss. That's what we watch her do. We watch her go through the stages of grief, and we watch her do this in the wrong way, and she's hurting people. And by the end of the season, she has learned her mistakes, and she is moving forward, and she is pushing to be better and to learn how to properly grieve a person. And that is her progression. And that is what she learns. That's how the character evolves. When we start the show, she is not handling this stuff properly. But when we end it, she is. She deserves Quicksilver, and knowing that we are going to get the X-Men, of course we're going to bring him back. But we can't do it right when she's emotionally devastated and learning that she needs to get over this stuff in a healthy way. That would be an easy out for her. You would just give her what she wants and she would not have grown. So now that she has grown, she can now have a replacement Quicksilver arrive, and we can move on and grow with them in their relationship. And Wanda will no longer be burdened by the guilt and the hurt and everything of her past Quicksilver. She can meet this new one as a whole individual and not someone desperately needing to cling on to a past relationship.
Boner.
I think WandaVision was brilliant. I also think that these types of movies and TV shows are at a crossroad with the fans right now, because it seems that they want to be completely surprised by exactly what they want. And they get angry if you change those expectations and don't give them what they want. And a really good compare and contrast is the reveal of Agatha this season and the reveal of Boner this season.
Boner.
We had lots of people complaining about the Agatha reveal because they had figured it out.
And I killed Sparky too.
They weren't surprised. But what happened when they actually did get a genuine surprise in the fact that it's not actually Quicksilver?
Boner.
They got so upset. Sometimes you just can't have your cake and eat it too. We need to let these filmmakers tell their stories in their own original way, because that's what we actually like. No one knew what James Gunn's take on Guardians of the Galaxy was going to be until he gave it to us. And now we realize, holy shit, it's amazing.
They call themselves the Guardians of the Galaxy.
What a bunch of a-holes.
So you, as fans, you can't pigeonhole these creators into a box and say, okay, here's our Marvel characters, here's what you can and can't do with them. Like, you need to let them be original and let them do their thing. And trust me, it's Marvel. They are going to do it well. There may be some ridiculous surprises like Boner. And like the fake Mandarin.
Bloody hell.
But we're getting the real ones. We're getting the real Mandarin. We're getting a real X-Men crossover now, because now Marvel owns the rights. So just let them do their thing. And so what if something doesn't happen exactly the way you want it to? Life would be pretty boring if everything happened exactly the way you wanted it to. Go in fresh and just let the filmmaker tell the story the way they want to tell it. Sometimes it's not about what you want for a character, it's what the character needs. And I think WandaVision was a brilliant example of this. Combine that with some of the best performances we've had in the Marvel MCU so far, and I'm giving WandaVision a 9.8 out of 10. It is one of the best properties that Marvel has released. Tune in next time for Brett's Flix Fast Forward.